Feels like there is no end to Indian fake news. Barrages of fake news always are being sent towards Pakistan, and Pakistan is being propagated against by India non-stop. I'm Raja Faisal, and today in this video I will be highlighting the fake news which is being propagated against Pakistan, and I will be telling you the reasons behind it as well. Though fake news is a very old tradition of India, but I will only be highlighting since April 2025. First of all, on 22nd of April, when Pahalgam attack took place, straight after that, India started propagating against Pakistan, and they started claiming that Pakistan is behind it. And that too without any investigation conducted. And then comes the 4-day war between Pakistan and India in May 2025. While Pakistan was sending in barrages of its missiles in retaliation of Indian missiles, India started spewing the venom. They started sending in barrages of fake news towards Pakistan. And you all remember that night in which all of the Indian channels, they were claiming that Pakistan has been attacked by Indians and Pakistan is one by one losing all of its cities to India. And hilarious was the point when one of the channels claimed that Multan, that happens to be a city way far away from the Indian Ocean, has been conquered by Indian Navy. Then they started saying Faisalabad, Lahore, Peshawar and Karachi, one by one, all of the cities, they have been conquered by Indian military and Indian naval forces. They even went to this length that Prime Minister of Pakistan's residence that has been hit by a missile and he is hiding somewhere. And guess what? At the very time when it was taking place, I was coming back from PTV World, and that was my route to get to my place. And I was passing right in front of the Prime Minister house, and nothing was happening there. They even went to this length saying the Chief of the Army Staff, he has been arrested and Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff has imposed the martial law in the country. Wow. Matlab kuch bhi. Whatever you want to say, you will say it on the Indian channel and that would become a news. Utter nonsense, utter fake news. And whatever happened next day, the whole world knows about it. Pakistan retaliated and retaliated with a style. There was no end to sending the missiles from Pakistan side to the Indian side. So much so that all of the air bases that were right next to Indo-Pak border, they have been hit by Pakistani missile with utmost precision. And the S-400 that India had always been very proud of, it was neutralized. And what happened next? Of course, they rushed towards the Washington seeking for a resolve to it. They literally begged for the ceasefire. And Pakistan was already in the favor of no war at all. Pakistan was just retaliating against the menace which was initiated by the Indian side. And that's how the war ended. But till this day, Indian fake news is still propagating that Pakistan was the one seeking for the ceasefire. Pakistan was the one that was seeking Americans' help. No, not at all. This is all fake news. And the next fake news I'm going to talk about is the time when our Field Marshal, he was invited to a lunch by President Donald Trump in Washington. Even while this meeting was taking place, Indian media started saying that Pakistan has given up all of its air bases to the US to conduct any operation against Iran. I mean, one wonders how the hell they know about it. It feels as if Indian media, they have some kind of bugs going around within the Oval Office. Or maybe Vice President J.D. Vance is somehow spying for the Indians because he happens to be brother-in-law of Indians. I mean, there is no end to utter nonsense when it comes to Indian media. They even claimed that Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir is offering help to the Americans in this war. I mean, get a life, Indian media. Now, the latest one is about the B-2 bombers. You all know that American B-2 bombers recently conducted an air raid on Iran to neutralize all of the nuclear sites of Iran with the bunker busters. Once again, Indian media has the content to share with the world. And that content is entirely the fake news. And what did they come up with? Well, Pakistani air bases are being used by B-2 bombers of the Americans to bomb within Iran. And frankly, about B-2 bombers, forget about flying from Pakistan's air bases. They have never ever even touched the air bases to land here. One wonders, the B-2 bombers are known to be having capacity of long flights. Why would they ever be landing in Pakistan and preparing from here to bomb Iran? Especially when everyone knows that the Americans, they have air bases within Gulf states from where they can simply go there and within 20 to 25 minutes, they can release the bombs and that's it. And guess what? There is another site deep in the Indian Ocean called Diego Garcia. That's an air base. It has been with the Americans since right after 9/11. And now even Washington has given all of the information about how did they flew from within America and how their refuelers, they were arranged within the range of Iran and they were refueled, B-2 bombers were refueled to of course bomb within Iran. Go and listen to this.
At midnight Friday into Saturday morning, a large B-2 strike package comprised of bombers launched from the continental United States. As part of the plan to maintain tactical surprise, part of the package proceeded to the west and into the Pacific as a decoy.
Indian media, once again, it is ridiculous. I believe you need to grow up. To you, fake news is the only news. Whereas, world over, the journalistic practices, they demand the rechecking. But you never recheck. Reason being, you start the story with the fake narratives. And there is a reason behind it. The reason is Srivastava Group. And friends, Srivastava Group is a group that is a media wing of Indian intelligence. And those who are interested in knowing about the Indian modus operandi of the fake news must go through a story by EUDisinfolab. They simply probed the modus operandi of Srivastava Group back in days. I'm talking about their story, Indian Chronicles, in which they highlighted how Srivastava Group is involved in propagating against Pakistan. The probe conducted by EUDisinfolab unearthed that there was a series of fake news peddlers that were involved in this propaganda against Pakistan. There were news portals, there were numerous fake organizations, human rights related organizations that were having their websites, and all of them, they were against Pakistan. The websites were mainly about women's rights in Balochistan and then human rights about Balochistan and how Balochistan people, they want to get rid of Pakistan and they want freedom and they are fighting against Pakistan. You all know that India has been facilitating and financing terrorism within Pakistan. You all know that India has been involved in facilitating and financing terrorism within Pakistan since more than a decade. And that was their national policy against Pakistan. And guess what? Alongside all of these news portals and fake organizations, they were even having a news channel called GT, Geneva Times. You might have seen many of Geneva Times videos shared on social mediums and YouTube as well that were coming from Geneva with, of course, hiring the female anchors from within Geneva to propagate against Pakistan. And the content generated by Geneva Times was entirely related to Pakistan. One wonders why Geneva Times, if it was an original one, would be so much interested in talking about Pakistan 24/7. I mean, one of the sources even told me about how much these anchors are getting paid. And guess what? They were being given merely $2,000 per month. And to do what? Give the face value to the fake news peddling. Friends, you would laugh when you would go through this story. You must go and read about Indian Chronicles done by EUDisinfolab. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe my channel if you haven't done so yet. Do contact me with your comments. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in the comments and I will always try to answer them. Take very good care of yourself.